Hi, Gordon. How are you? I think we're going to wait for a few more people to join in, and then we'll get started. How are you, Gordon?
Hey Shabir, I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So, are we ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Today, we've got a very special guest, a great friend of the office, a great friend of our family for a number of years. He's someone we can always count on whenever we're in a rut, if we're kind of directionless. And he's always so gracious with his time, uh, giving us kind of guidance on where to go next, always helping us find some success going forward. And he's taken some time out of his busy schedule to talk to us today and give us a bit of advice heading into this kind of downward market. So I want to welcome the co-founder of Landed for Success, our good friend Gordon So. And Gordon, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Shabir. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate your dad, Surinder, who's been a great friend for a while now. I'm always trying to keep up to him. You know, he's running marathons, and I'm out there trying to run my 3 kilometers if I can do that, if anyone can relate to that. But Surinder, thank you so much. Shabir, Lady Gonzalez, and Bajit and Harp, and the ownership and the leaders at Homelife. Thank you so much for making this opportunity available to us. So, how many of you? I know some of you guys are muted. Raise your hands or whatever you need to do. I want to just share with you that today's going to be a very special day. There are 3 incredible individuals here that are at the top of their game. And I know they've been able to help other realtors, whether it's tough times, right? Tough times or good times, right? In the real estate market, we've experienced some really incredible years. Would you guys agree with that? Right? And now there's kind of a bump on the road. But these 3 individuals are individuals that have not only been able to serve their own clients, but also many of our realtor clients in our community to be able to survive and thrive through some of these tough economic times. So I want to jump right into it, you guys. Without further ado, the first individual I want to introduce to you is an individual I have a lot of respect for. He is going to show you how to use digital marketing. Okay, how to use digital marketing to generate leads online. As a real estate agent or broker, how would you feel if every time you turn on your phone, there's a brand new lead? Would you guys like that? So
Yes.
he's going to show us a technology that we're already using, but I didn't even know everything you could do with this technology until he showed it to me very recently. So again, he is one of the co-founders of Landed for Success as well. He's a family man and he absolutely loves to help people. So please help me to welcome co-founder, Mr. Jeyakanthan. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you, Gordon, for that kind introduction. I wanted to say a huge thank to Sabir and Surinder. Thank you so much. I know some notable faces are coming up. Hailey is in the room. Terrence is in the room. Hi guys. So without further ado, I'm going to jump really right into it, what I'm going to coach you today. So I'm going to give you, like Gordon said, I'm going to give, Sabir mentioned, the real estate market, or generally the market, it's downwards right now. Or what doesn't really matter what's happening in the market. So today, the takeaway that you're going to get is I'm going to share my screen, both my laptop and my screen back and forth. I need your permission for that. I'm going to give you some tools how you can effectively use WhatsApp as generating business leads. I know most of you in this room are using WhatsApp, but after you leave this session, I can guarantee you, you will save 3 hours a day if you follow what I'm about to teach you or give you the tips. Okay, with your permission, I'm going to share the screen here. First of all, I wanted to show the difference between the business WhatsApp and a personal messenger WhatsApp. Everybody in this room, some of you may have a personal one that they are using it for your personal purposes, but this session that I'm going to do is the business WhatsApp. I'll show you the difference, and from the logo itself, you can see, if you see a phone, that is your personal one. But what I'm going to focus, it's B, which is called a business WhatsApp. If you have an Android phone, you can have both version on your phone. But if you have an iOS, you have to have either or. We'll get to that. So we have a quick agenda. So the agenda, like I said, it's about strategies and meaningful actions that you can take using WhatsApp. What does make me the expert to come and talk about WhatsApp in front of you guys? I've been in the digital space for 22 years. I have helped companies like Home Depots of the world to do some digital transformation. I'm a digital marketing when it comes to LinkedIn as well, but now I have trained on WhatsApp as well. So that's a little bit about me. So just wanted to know that when you're listening to me, where my background comes from. Okay, so I wanted to show you the difference between, because you might think, why am I going through this? Because this is very, very important for you guys to know the difference. What some people have asked me, Jay, if I port my personal WhatsApp to the business WhatsApp, am I going to lose all the features, or can I not communicate with my friends? Oh, am I going to come out of the groups, the friendly? No. So everything that you are doing on your personal WhatsApp, you can still continue to do when you choose to go into your WhatsApp business. So one of the big things that I'm going to show you a demo is quick reply. That is not available in your personal one, but it applies in the business one. It is a powerful tool which you can leverage, especially for realtors, mortgage agents, to communicate with your clients when it's set up properly. Chat labels, what is that? It is not available in your personal one, but it's available on your business one. What is the chat label does? You can actually segregate clients based on projects or region or their preference. Like, for example, if they are condo buyers, you can have them as a condo label. If you want a realtor, land, subdivision, what have you, like you guys know the industry, you can have those labels, which you will see that in the demo. Both are multi-language. If you want to have WhatsApp in 2 different language, you can do that. It's both of them are free. Both of them have web one, and both are available on iOS and Android. Okay, so without these are the 3. Let me show you the screens. I'm going to stop this one, and I'm going to show you a powerful tool here. I'm going to share my screen. So to do that, I need to make myself a host on here. Give me 1 second. Gordon, can you make my other name a co-host?
Should be done, Jay.
Is done?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Gordon. I appreciate that. So
Just a quick announcement for those of you who are here. If you are able to turn on your camera so we can actually see you as well, right? That would be absolutely amazing.
okay, so what you guys are seeing is my phone. Right now, I'm using my phone. I'm actually sharing it on the screen itself. This tool itself, it's a bonus for you guys. If you are on a Zoom call like this, or if you are actually, you can, if you're using Zoom on your phone, you can actually share your screen to your clients as well. And especially if you have a property video that you wanted to show, you can actually literally, like if you see me scrolling the phone here, whatever that I'm going to be doing on my phone, you are viewing here on the Zoom itself. So this is a new technology. If you have a project and if you wanted to show it to your agent, you can do that in here as well. So today, this is a business WhatsApp. Like I said, I'm going to go back to my screen here. So what is the difference here is like, I'm going to click, I'm using my personal WhatsApp for demo purposes here. As Facebook, you can actually have a cover page on your WhatsApp. And in here, it's business name, but I'm putting my business name here, and I have the phone number, and I have a description. When you're an agent, you are also working 24/7. So this is one of the trick here is while you are sleeping, when you set up your WhatsApp, it is working for you, sending automatic messages using bots and stuff like that. I will show it to you. So in here, it's a very simple setup where we are saying we are open for business 24 hours. I have the company address, the email, and here. There is a function called catalog. Literally, WhatsApp has, what it has done is people used to pay a lot of money for e-commerce website. You can literally turn your business WhatsApp into your e-commerce site and the cost is zero. So there is no cost. It's a little bit of time for you to set up, but I'm going to show you how it's done. So I'm going to click on this manage button. So where you have like, what I have done is like one of the trainings that we do, we have just put in here, but I'm just going to use this one to show you what you can do here. So here you can add an image. So especially if you have a project that you wanted to showcase, you can add an image here. You can actually write down here, what is the project name? And if you wanted to put a price in there, if you're selling a house or a condo, you can actually put a link there. And in the description, you can write, like I'm going to click on more fields. You can write a quick description in here about the project. So I'm going to scroll down here. Once the project is sold, you can hide it. But if you wanted to keep it open, you can have it. So if you want to set up something that is coming up in the future, but you don't want anybody to see it, you can still set it up. But when you push this button, it's hidden. You can only see it. Not everybody will be able to see it. So when you're ready to publish it, you can push that button here. So, and I know for housing industry, people are not going to press buy and buy it. But if you know somebody who wants to buy or rent, people can pay the rent or pay for it using WhatsApp itself. So I'll show it to you. Like, let me show. Okay, so let me use this as an example. Do you see my course? Like, if somebody wants to add it to cart, it automatically asks me how many units they want to buy. 1, 2, 3. So this is what I meant by WhatsApp Business has become an e-commerce site where if you're a coach or any other thing, you can actually use that. Boom, it gives me a total. I can send this to the business, and I have not tied up my Visa card or PayPal. You can literally pay for it. for the gentlemen and ladies here, you are in the real estate industry, you can push out a link to your website and say, find out here for more information, or you can actually have appointment setting to do that. So that is more relevant for here. You can actually set up a link here to set up an appointment or to give you a call. Okay, so I'm just going to go into another feature. Some of you guys may be doing it. So here, like I just went to the status button here, so you can see here. So when I click on, I don't know how many of you guys are using the status button. It is a very important tool that you can use. So right now I have just posted about an event that we are going to be hosting on September. I just posted it 20 hours ago, 55 views happened. Why is this important? Because sometimes I get 550 views, sometimes I get 20 views, sometimes it's 100. So I can just for demo purposes, I'm going to quickly go and see who viewed it. So I kind of have an idea, oh, these are the people who are looking at this post, and depends on what day and what stuff that I post, we can do that. So why is that relevant that I'm asking you to look at this one is, there is another feature when you go here. I don't know how many of you guys know, there is a broadcast list. This is a very, very important tool. I highly recommend every single agent learn about it and use it. So what is this broadcast list is? I'm just going to click, I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to start a new list. What is it saying here is I can have multiple lists, each list, because WhatsApp business can only allow 256 people. So for example, if you have a project that's coming up in Calgary, so you can literally create a list called Calgary, and the people who have showed interest to you, who are in your contacts, that project, you can add them. So like for demo purposes, I'm just going to add all these, like you see on the top, 4 people out of I have added it. There is another tool, like when you come to the advanced level, you can actually send email, like not email, SMS messages to the people who are not in your contact list. You know, like when it comes to email, there is law called CPAM law. You cannot send emails if they are not single opt-in or double opt-in. Double opt-in is the right word. But when it comes to SMS marketing and WhatsApp marketing, there are no rules. Meta now that has integrated the algorithm between Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, it's all owned by Meta. There is no law that you cannot send messages. So can you imagine you having a broadcast list for your project? So, or you can have somebody who wants in the rental market. So you have a rental market list. You have a condo project list, new pre-construction list. So this is like, I'll just show you, like I showed you, right? Like you can go through this list and then you can select who do you want, and then you can create a list, and you can actually name the list. What is that list is want to call? You wanted to say, I'm going to use test here, done. So if I wanted, like in here, like I'll just show it to you. In this list, I have about 103 recipients in this list. These are our members who wanted us to know when is the event is starting, when is the agenda is starting. So I'm just using that as an example. If I send this message, all 103 people will get the message individually as if I am sending a personal message. So, this is what I said earlier. You can save 3 hours a day using WhatsApp Business to run your business as an administrative assistant, your personal assistant, or as a lead magnet tool. So which I'll show you how you can use WhatsApp lead magnet tool. But for this demo, I wanted to spend a little bit time on this broadcast list, how you can have multiple lists and have 5,000 to 10,000 people you can send list. So are you guys finding value so far? Like just put a yes on the chat or put a thumbs up. So I wanted to give you some meaningful things that you can implement. You already know, I know you guys are already using WhatsApp, but today's things, it's going to take you to the next level. Okay, that's good. Thank you. So I'm going to continue. So I'm just going to go back again to the chat, and there is the labels here on the top. So I'm just going to click on, you guys know new groups. That's just, I'm not going to touch on the group, but I'm going to touch on the labels. I cleaned up everything, but I just want to show here. The first one was messages via ad. This is another bonus thing I wanted to leave with you guys. In Facebook, if you have a business page, you can tie your WhatsApp to your Facebook page. So when you post, instead of get message, like instead of saying somebody like my post, you can actually ask them to message via your page. When they message it, they're not asking them to opt into an email. They are directly coming into your WhatsApp with their numbers. I'll just show you, like, somebody already looking for the opportunity. So you might say, oh, how do I do that? So I'm going to, before I go on, I just wanted to touch, and I will show you how you can do it, because I just don't want to just say it. I wanted to show it to you as well. So here, like if you have, like, again, these labels are that I just created for the demo purposes. I can create a label here if somebody in the rental market, somebody's in a condo project or a townhouse or a land project, you can actually segregate your contacts into leads. So when you are saying, oh, I'm going to send messages to my rental people who are looking for rental or townhouse, what have you. So I'm going to stop this broadcast for a while, and I'm going to jump into the page, if you don't mind. Just give me 1 second. Let me open up our Facebook page. While I'm doing so, if you have any questions, I will be able to answer it at the last. Let me know if I'm going too fast, because I know the time is very limited here. I know I have a few more minutes. So Gordon, you can let me know if I'm going over time. Okay, so here, I think this will be added for you guys. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. So here you see this, like in this is our page. It's a Landed for Success Facebook/Landed for Success page. We have created here. So you see this in when you are creating a post, it's very important. Like here, I can actually go live here. I can add an event. I can do an offer. I can do an ad. This features used to be only paid ad can do. With the new algorithm, it's free. I can show it to you. So I'm going to create a post here, and I'm going to go on to these 3 little buttons. So all these things have popped up. So I can actually tag a product. If I'm selling a pre-construction condo, I can make pre-construction condo as one of my project, and I can get calls. But in this particular case, I'm just going to show you get WhatsApp message. Boom. So automatically this post created and says WhatsApp message. I can delete this and I can add a different picture. I can put all these things. I'm not going to boost anything, because this feature was used to be a paid function. Now it's free. So if I'm going to post it for the time being. So if any of you guys wanted to test it, and I don't wanted to post it on 3 different pages at the same time, but once I went here, it actually creates a WhatsApp here. So when I click on it, because I'm since on my own, but if you guys go and send a message, if you have a property that you have posting or any post that you wanted to do and you want to get their number, if you send a message, it automatically sends a message to us in WhatsApp. So I would, as a bonus, what I would suggest as a takeaway is go to your page and update the page, because if you know what Facebook has done 3 months ago, it has completely changed. The new algorithm, new stuff, you can actually use this function will get activated. How it get activated? You have to connect your Facebook, your Instagram, your WhatsApp. You can actually connect that in 3 different medium. You go to Facebook and you can connect Instagram and WhatsApp, or you can go to WhatsApp and connect. I'll just show it to you in the screen here. So let me use my other phone if I can do a broadcast. Gordon, can you give me rights to the WhatsApp demo phone? Because I have, this is my Android phone. This is iOS. Android can do much more. Literally, this is my administrative assistant. And everything that like automated messages goes through this from this phone. I invested about $600 on this phone and the software. It does everything automatically. Like when somebody sends a message, it automatically says it. I'll show you a demo. Gordon, are we good to share?
Jay, when I click on it, it says make host of both of them. So I think you're already a co-host on both.
Oh, no, it's this is WhatsApp demo, Gordon. So there is a user called WhatsApp demo.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that is.
It's in the list. Okay. Anyways, you know what? I'll show it on here itself.
Gordon, it's got
Okay.
the photo of Landed Success membership benefits. That's what the screensaver picture is.
Why can I
Very
not
bottom.
see it?
No,
I don't see it.
Gordon, don't worry about it. I will
Okay.
broadcast it here.
Okay.
So anyway, so I only have a few more minutes anyway, so I will show you. I want to show you one more tool because it is very, very important. And because I wanted to give you so much value. So I'm going to go here. So I'm going to go to a chat here. Oh, this is another function that I only recently found it and I got so excited and I wanted to show you guys. You see this search button? Like we just normally type everything. I want you guys to go and just touch one time. Boom. All these things will come up and say, okay, what is the significance of this one? Because we use WhatsApp so much, it's actually a sort tool. If I were to click on unread messages, it automatically sorts all the unread messages. And sometimes if you're bored, I know like sometimes we are WhatsApp user, we wanted to listen to audios and we are part of the group. Some people will send humor stuff. Okay, see that people are calling me. Sorry about that. So go here. And then I'm going to go back to here. Like I'm going to click once because these are the small details that makes a big difference. You can actually sort. If I were to click on pictures, all the pictures that people send me through WhatsApp will be sorted out. I'll just show it to you. Boom. Some of them is not even relevant, but some of them are. So I'm just going to close that. And some people send links. So if I'm wanted to click on the links, people send links. If I wanted to watch documents, stuff like that, people like this one. I don't know how good this is. And this is another good things for you guys, non-contact people. So how many people who have actually used the non-contact? So this, you see that the first message, do you see like a message via ad? This one came from Facebook. I am interested in this one. I can get this through label, but I'm getting it here. Like, let's see, because I already met the message. So automatically there is a predefined message saying, I saw this on Facebook. Can I get more detail? So obviously I'm doing a WhatsApp demo for you. I posted the same thing on Facebook. Somebody from US is contacting me and saying, can I get more detail? And I also had an automated message set up. If people who are not in my contact will get this message saying, thank you for contacting Jay. Please let me know how can I help you. But since I saw this message, I said, sure, I have a training that's coming up next week. I'll send you more information. So by using this tool, I didn't have to go through email. I don't have to go through everything. I have their phone number. They have my phone number. I'm chatting with the lead. In my sales process, I have cut down 4 steps and talking to the customer and booking appointments right off the bat. That's what your WhatsApp can do once you do that. So I know I'm up time, but with 1 minute, I'm going to give you another tip, but this is going to, so I'm going to go to Gordon. So let me go here. No, maybe You know what? Let me go to Landed for Success here. So any contact in your okay. So this is my contact here. Okay, so these are the pictures that I have for real estate. So you see on the bottom of the screen, I'm going to click there and this button. Okay, so you can see the quick replies. When I click on this reply, automatically predefined messages will come up. So this is a trick that you need to learn. I want you guys to write it down. When you set up the quick reply, you might ask, okay, what is this quick reply do? So while you're driving, if somebody asks you for an information and then you don't want to be, or if you're in a meeting, driving is not a good example. So I'm going to say you are in a meeting, somebody is saying, oh, I need this information. Can you send it to me? By just clicking on this info, like I don't even say good morning, I type the good morning anymore. I have predefined it and I just say, boom. Oh, that's the good morning message will go. And I just come and click. Somebody will say, oh, can you send me the information that is happening? How do can you send me the Zoom information? Or, okay, so like, okay, so boom, one click of a button, this one will go. So what I was saying here is, if I go click again, where is your office address? How do I say? I just type 1 second, like it literally take 10 seconds to send quick reply. So you set the quick reply by clicking that button. You can do like sometimes if you're on a phone, yeah, you wanted to say you wanted a customized message. Oh, I'm in a call. I'll call you right back. That happens in the text. You can do that in WhatsApp too, because we use WhatsApp Business for thing. I haven't really touched on bot, how you can send messages. Let me stop this one for a while. So I haven't really touched on how you can actually use Landed for Success bot and send emails to 5,000 people who are not in your contact. How you can set your WhatsApp when somebody sends a message, like for example, I say, oh, if you don't know my number, go type in VIP, and I don't even have to do anything. It's an incoming. They type in VIP, a VIP project information will go out. They'll get an image, they get a description, they get everything. So this is how few of the things that you can automate it. Like I just, because of I only have very little time today because I have other wonderful speakers like Hailey and where they are waiting. So I wanted to wrap it up on time. So these are like a tip of the iceberg, what you can do to leverage WhatsApp Business that you can do on a day-to-day life. So once we have that, and you know what, I don't know, Gordon, if it's possible or not, because we have a course coming up, 3-day course for WhatsApp for $29.99. You can spend 3 hours with one of our members who will set it up. It's not $3,000. Let me get it. And it's not $29,000. It's $29 for 3-day course that Landed for Success. I think it's an offer that we do for our members. Yeah. Gordon, I think the relationship that we have, we should, again, this is no pressure. I'm going to put the link. Yeah. If you like to take that 3-day course for $29.99, you can get that. It's 3 days, 3 hours. You will become a WhatsApp expert. I can tell you it will save 3 hours a day. That's all, everyone. Thank you so much for the time and opportunity.
Awesome. Jay, thank you. Thank you so much. Everyone, let's give Jay a big hand here. Okay. I know that was very short, 20, 25 minutes. What Jay just mentioned, that's something we normally only offer to our Landed for Success members. But Surinder and Harp was twisting my arms. So if what you just heard from Jay, you want to learn more about it, I hope he's piqued enough of your interest. So for $30, you guys, right? $29.95. That's ridiculous, right? You can, like, 3 days, like it's 1 hour a day for 3 days. What I would like to share with you is this: in terms of real estate, by referral only. Remember Joe Stump? When I was selling real estate, there was somebody named Joe Stump, and his program was by referral only. And I remember my brother, does anybody here have a brother, like an older brother, right? So my brother, don't tell him this, but my brother's the kind of individual, if he built a swimming pool, it would probably burn down. No, I'm just joking, But my my brother has built a huge successful business with that philosophy, and what that philosophy is this, and I'll relate that to what Jay's talking about. Do you remember the resale home magazines? Shabir, you're too young to remember that, but you guys remember when there used to be the resale home magazines?
Yes.
You go to the box, you pull out a magazine, and you open it up. And there are agents who used to have like full-page ads. Do you remember that? They would have
Yes.
full-page ads, and maybe on each page they had like 10 listings. And then on each one of those listings, it had a voice mailbox. Remember that? So you call one number, it says for this listing, press 1. For this listing, press 2. Right? For this gas station, press 3. And so when you press on that box, you hear a pre-recorded message. And then if you're interested in that property, you leave a message. And then the agent gets a pre-qualified lead. That's what you can do with WhatsApp. Okay, so if you want to automate that, so if you're thinking, let's say, building a pre-construction condo list of buyers. So if you had a condo club you want to start, you can literally set up a campaign. And so like Jay mentioned, you could be driving in the car, or maybe you're on holiday with the family, and somebody just called you, right, Surinder, and says, hey, can you send me information on this project out in, this project down by Harborfront? You could literally say to that person, just send one to my WhatsApp, and boom, automatically it sends them the information on that VIP condo project. And then you can use bots to continue to educate them and then sell them on why they should book an appointment with you to go and look at that property. Does that make sense, you guys? There is so much you can do with WhatsApp. As you guys can tell, Jay is he's the digital marketing king. Okay, so what he's sharing with you is how we're building a massive organization with Landed for Success around the world. But if you can spend some more time with Jay and describe to him what your needs are for real estate, his team will help you implement that so you can list and sell more. Does that make sense, you guys? All right, so I'm gonna jump right into our next speaker. This is an individual I have so much respect for. She has trained, I would suggest, not just thousands and tens of thousands. She has over 100,000 plus clients who have taken her course from over 100 different countries. This individual, in my opinion, when it comes to happiness and building relationships that can help you perform better, not only in your personal, but in your business life. And as realtors, we all know we get busy. How many of you like making money, right? We all like to make money and we get busy. And then sometimes we forget that we have a family life as well. So if you're someone who's looking to be able to balance, not only just making money, but being able to spend quality time with family and living out your passion, this is an individual, I believe, who's already helped other realtors. And I believe she can actually help you scale your business profitably, and at the same time, again, have the time freedom that you want to do the things that you love. So please help me to welcome Hailey Patry.
Oh, Gordon and Jay, it is so fabulous to be online with you tonight, and your friends and team over at Homelife. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I could speak for half an hour just on how much I appreciate Gordon and Jay. Gordon, my goodness, you really walk the talk, as I do, on balancing business and life. You are managing multiple generations in your family, and you do it beautifully. And Jay, you taught me more than a few new tricks in the last half an hour. I took 2 full pages of notes. I am signing up for your course. And I think what you trained on is such a perfect fit for what I'm about to share, how to have more of your life by design and have your business be successful and your life be successful. So I absolutely love what you taught us so that we can shave those 3 hours a day. And instead of doing it manually, let's let WhatsApp do the heavy lifting for us, and for free. So thank you for that incredible offer. For those of you taking the course, I am excited to see you there. So I want to get right into it for this evening to really honor and respect your time. And you might wonder, why is a happiness coach in the mix at your real estate online conference tonight? And the reason, my friends, is that you deserve to make more than the dollars that you are committed to making. We have to go beyond just building a successful business. We have to help you be successful people, have successful family lives. And the last 2 years haven't made that much easier, nor has the market recently. So if it's okay with you, I would love for you to keep earning the income that you crave, but actually get more space to enjoy the other things in life. So I'm going to share some slides with you. Gordon, if you can give me
स्टार्ट
co-host
वीडियो वाले
permission.
तक तेरे आए हैं
Already done.
देखें
Hailey.
Amazing. Thank you.
हाँ से
Thank
तेरी
you.
गाली
And do you want to mute all on the lines, Gordon, just before we do the screen share? Excellent, my friend. I'm going to just start our slideshow here. Thank you. Gordon, can you see my slides okay? Beautiful. Thank you, my friend. All right, folks, so I'm not going to go into the reason I love to help people, how much passion I have, or the millions of people that I have spoken to before, because tonight, this presentation, this slide deck is actually designed specifically for you. And the title of this little mini workshop is called Life by Design, How to Balance Success at Home and at Work. My name's Hailey. I am your true happiness coach, marriage mentor, and the happy business coach. And you'll find happy sprinkled throughout everything, because if you just create wealth and abundance, but you don't have an abundance in your relationships, in your mental health, and your physical health, what is the meaning of the money if you don't have people and good health to share it with? So these are a few of the lights of my life and how I round out running my successful practice. As my bio often says, you'll find me out in nature with my family. It's just as important to plug into your business as it is to unplug and stay active. I have been able to participate in many books, but I'm very excited about the upcoming project with Gordon and Jay that you'll hear more about soon. That will round out book number 6. And if you are currently an agent or a broker and a spouse, then I have lots of free love I'd like to share with you at the end of today's talk. Let's get right into how you can design a life of balance. It starts by deciding that you even want one and realizing what are the categories that round out a great successful life. So business and finances, of course, they're on the list, but they're one of many things. For you to really live your life by design, you're going to want to put some thought into how you handle your health in your body, your self-care, your family and friend relationships, of course, your finances and career and the growth or changes there, but also your personal growth, your mental health, how you're doing with your sleep and your energy and your home life and the physicalness of your house, but also your connection, your love life. And we can't forget throwing in some fun and adventure and making sure that you live your life on purpose. Now, the 3 areas that I've highlighted, self-care, family, and career, for most realtors and brokers that I've coached over the decades, these 3 areas tend to compete. You might be in a season of hyper growth in your real estate career, and your family might be complaining, whining, or leaving. You might be in a season where things are great with your family, but business is slow. Or your career is upticking again, and self-care is making it to the bottom of the list. I encourage you to balance and juggle these 3. And balance doesn't mean 33.33% in every area. Balance just means claiming for yourself how much of each of these things would be meaningful to you. Now, I have a brother who's a very successful realtor. He also is a property developer in Costa Rica, although he lives here in Halton, Ontario. And he just welcomed his second baby girl last weekend. He has taken a month off work. And when he had his first daughter just 2 years ago, he was a slave to the notifications, evening showings, weekend open houses, constantly being on Facebook and Instagram. And he would call me almost in tears to say, I don't know how to do this any differently. I feel like I need to be responsive to clients every moment, and I'm letting my wife down. I'm letting my baby girl down. And this time, as he welcomed his second baby, he said, sister, I need to do it differently. And he would often ask me, how do I do it? How do we run successful 6 or 7 figure businesses and have a successful family, marriages that actually get quality time, sports you actually participate in, workouts you actually do several times a week, and downtime that you take for yourself guilt-free? and do it without offending your clients. So one of the ways we do that is about setting boundaries. And Jay, I think you and I need to have a great phone call, how to set up client responsiveness auto messages so that clients know when you're meant to be reached and who they can contact when you want to be offline. Because there will be time, friends, that you want to be offline and that client will still let you list their house. But let's talk about how you can shift any of these things if they're bugging you. If you are not happy in this moment with the amount of time you can spend developing your business, not working in it, but working on it, or if you're frustrated with the lack of downtime you have to be with yourself and your loved ones, these are the 5 questions that will help you shift any area of your business or life that you're not totally happy with. Question 1, how's it now? This is your opportunity to complain, vent, rant, and use all the words. Question 1 is for you to say why it's not working. So let's use family time as our example. Many of the realtors and the real estate brokers that I work with will tell me that they miss out on the important milestones with their family. They miss social functions, sporting events. They miss bedtime. They miss date night with their spouse. They miss going away during the hot market seasons. They miss a lot of things. And that's going to go in question 1. Question 2, ask yourself, how would you rather it be? If there is something that's bothering you right now about your business or your life, once you get the complaints out of your system, what would you rather it look like? Do you want to have a schedule where you work 27 hours instead of 67? Do you want to have a life where you can turn your phone off and enjoy dinner without looking over? Do you want to know that your clients will still have 100% faith in you, even if you take a 4-day weekend? So it's important to not just complain about what's not working, but pick what you'd rather instead. And if you're working to be your own coach and solve your own problems, then you want to keep exploring what can be done about it. What are you willing to do about it? And the only question that really matters, what will you do about it in the next 24 hours? It's that simple. It's easy to complain when business is down or family life is struggling or you haven't exercised in 3 months, but very few of us actually say, no, I want to improve this problem. There are some things I could do about it. And there's something I'm going to do about that in the very next day. The hardest part of change is choosing the first step. And I encourage you to take a look at your business and life. And tonight, before you go to bed, I want you to jot down that part of your business or life that is pissing you off the most. You are really, really unhappy with the state of things, and you know that better is possible. You know that you deserve more. So I'm going to encourage you to use these questions. The next thing I want to share with you, friends, is how we can start to optimize the resources in your life. The truth is, you might want to create more revenue in your business. You might want to expand your team. You might want to expand your relationships, but I bet you already have a full plate. So before we can add more good, we're going to need to make some space. I'm going to be sharing a whole bunch of free resources with you at the end of this talk, including this sheet right here. To respect your time, we're not going to be able to go through it, but if I could give you a few little nuggets to think about tonight, it's this. If you want more of anything, you're going to need to create space and give away some things. What are the tasks that you want to get off your plate? You've got quite a few choices. You can hire them out for a fee. You can delegate them to someone who'd rather take them for free. You can find a process improvement like what Jay taught us today with WhatsApp and do it better and faster, or you can delete things off your plate that are no longer a priority. I don't know about you, friends, but on a monthly basis, I clean house by cleaning plate. I take a look at the stuff that shows up on my schedule, my inbox, and my bank account, and I consciously choose month over month, does it belong here again? If you remember those books when you were little, What Doesn't Belong Here? There are things in your life and your schedule and your business right now that are just clogging it up. And so you will have to do a little house cleaning if you want to make space for more happiness or more money. Now, this one is underwhelming and overwhelming all at once. There are 5 resources that create the quality of your life, and I invite you to be so careful with how you allocate them. The acronym is the I team because you are managing the team of these resources, and here they are: your intention, your time, your energy, your attention, and your money. Money, you understand. Time, it's pretty obvious. But maybe you're just thinking about 24 hours a week. I prefer to think that we have 168 hours, sorry, not 24 hours a day. I prefer to think we have 168 hours in a week. You don't need to win every day, not at home and not in your business, but it's wonderful if you can win every week and balance accordingly. Your energy, where you give it, things will flourish. But let's define the difference between attention and intention. Intention is what you give life to. It is the goals you have, the dreams you want to pursue, the projects you want to create. Intention starts from a seed and you work towards it. Attention is when your notifications went off and you looked over here to check them. It's when I saw your eyes leave the screen and you went to go scroll on Facebook. Intention is on purpose. Attention can be by accident. Be very careful what you give your attention to, because if it's not on purpose, you can find yourself wasting quite a bit of time. And time is such a precious resource, especially in real estate and as brokers. You do so much for your clients and sometimes more than is needed. So I'm going to encourage you to think a little differently about time, looking at the 168 hours, how you're currently giving them away. You can make some changes there, and I'm going to show you a worksheet how to do that. But I often get asked the question, and Gordon asked me this yesterday. He said, Hailey, how do you fit it all in? You're a good mom. You have 3 kids, all with special needs. One of them's in mental health crisis right now, which takes me 15 to 20 hours a week just to manage his health appointments. You have a happy marriage. You go on a weekly date with your husband. You exercise in nature. You get out and get active every day. He said, how do you do this and run a successful practice and super serve your clients? And the answer, my friends, is so simple. It's the last line on this slide. I schedule my life by design in a very specific order. This might be radically different from how you do things. But I encourage you to try it on for a week and see what it does for you. I double dare you to schedule time for yourself as the first thing on your schedule. Why? Well, you're useless to your clients if you have a neurological event, cardiac event, or total mental health burnout, and you can't work for months at a time. You are far more valuable to your clients if you stay sharp, you stay healthy, and you stay available. And the best way to do that is schedule you on the schedule first. When are you doing your self-care, your workouts, your nutrition, your downtime? That goes on first. Number 2, if you are a married person, a committed person, have children, a pet, or something that you're connected to, put connection as the second thing on your schedule. Here's why. Isolation is the greatest risk factor for depression, addiction, and suicide. And we could speak for hours on what the pandemic has done in the mental health detriment department, but that's not tonight's workshop. I promise you, if there are things that you care about in your life, making time for them first on your schedule, it's going to give you such a boost in your energy and your mental health. Number 3, schedule time for joy. You deserve to smile, laugh, giggle, sit in contentment, and access all the things that your brain can give you, such as dopamine, adrenaline, serotonin. These chemicals are important, and they help you be the kind of realtor or broker that clients find desirable to work with. They help round you out as a whole awesome person, not just a successful expert in your field. To be honest, I have coached and trained hundreds and thousands of realtors, and to be excellent in your craft is an expectation. It is not what makes you stand out. What makes you stand out is if you're knowledgeable, honest, excellent, and you're a good human. You have a healthy family life. You're a holistically balanced person. You have phenomenal values and you're fun to work with. And that only shows up if you're actually putting these things in your calendar. Number 1, you. Number 2, connection. Number 3, joy. Number 4, work. And I mean schedule when it starts and schedule when it stops. You can't be responding at 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. and noon and 2 and have a great life. I challenge you to decide in advance, even if you're on track to be the most successful agent or broker in your office, to choose limits. How many hours in the week are you willing to be working? And that includes when you're online, when you're responding, and social media. And lastly, my friends, I encourage you to schedule something you've probably never scheduled before. It's called white space. White space is where you book time for nothing, so that if you had a migraine and you needed to reschedule a meeting, you could. If a showing went really well and the client had 30 more questions for you, you could choose to stay and juggle things around. But if you schedule your business and your life so tight that there's no margin for error, you're going to end up canceling important things on yourself or on others. So I know it's radically different for scheduling, but how you give your time away is how you create your life. It is the quality of your life. And if you're focused only on optimizing your business, your personal life will tend to suffer. Trust me, as a marriage coach and a trauma therapist, I often see the spouses of realtors and brokers who say, I love him, but he's never around. I love her, but she never takes her eyes off her phone. And it can cause real challenges on the home front. So I'm going to skip over a few things in the interest of time. I will share these worksheets with you. We can connect after the event. I encourage you to track for 1 week how you give your 168 hours away, and you might be shocked. If you're in bed just 8 hours a day, if you take an hour for each of your meals, if you spend just 1 hour a day on love, joy, exercise, getting ready, unwinding, and just 40 hours a week on work, my friends, you've only got 16 hours left. That's not a lot of time. So if you don't like how your life feels right now, if you feel like your business has taken over or your personal life has taken over, you are the boss of how you allocate your time. And if you feel stuck, reach out to me and I will help you come up with some creative solutions. It can be really healthy to actually plot what your work life looks like right now. And if you want to print off a calendar or use one of your own, plot it 2 ways. How is your life looking at the moment, your real schedule, and how would you rather it look? And then we can have a conversation to help you optimize that. Now, I know I'm asking a lot of you. I'm asking you to consider rounding out your life, making the other things beyond business to be a priority so that you stay well, energized, whole, and able to super serve your clients. The truth is, to make space for more, I said it earlier, there will be some things we need to give up. And I'll give you one of the tips from my life. Why clean your own house if you don't have to? Why carpool in both directions if your kids play sports when you can take 3 people one way and have parents bring them the other way? There are almost always efficiencies that you can put in. And so if you're stuck on how to free up time for balance, please reach out. I'm here to support you. There's one life-changing thing I want to share with you right now, and this changed my life about 15 years ago. There is a system for you to kill off rolling to-do lists. I know as a realtor and a broker, you have so much admin to keep track of, so many people messaging you, listings you need to do, research you need to do, searches you need to set up, paperwork, checking up on how they're staging. I mean, it's endless, the mountain of tasks that could be on your plate. So I've created a system which is called My All, and I'm going to give you the fast track right now, but it won't really do you justice. If you'd like to utilize this, I'm happy to spend 30 free minutes with you and teach you properly how to do it. But it looks like this. I want you to make one list of everything you feel is in the back of your mind that you need to do, should do, or want to do. You're going to sort that list and you're going to keep it in one place. I like to use a notepad on my iPhone. You can do the same thing on an Android. This one place will be the only place you write down your to-dos as you go about your workday and your real life. And at the end of every day, you're going to set yourself an alarm, which is called Clear My All. You're going to open up that list for less than 5 minutes, and you're going to put it in only a few places. If it's time sensitive, take it off the list and schedule it as a calendar entry. Actually give it real time and space in your calendar to action that task. Follow up with Hasim and his wife. Put that on your calendar. Call the doctor, call the neurologist. Don't make it a to-do item. Actually open up your schedule and choose when you're doing the thing. The other place you can put things from your to-do list daily is on a list called My Month. You'll set an alarm to go off just once a month, and that alarm says, Clear my month. You have an opportunity to look at those things and decide, do they belong on your schedule? Do you want it to roll over again to next month? Or do you want to put it on a list called My Year? And once a year, my friends, you will have an alarm that goes off that says, Clear my year. Open your list called My Year. Take a look at all the things that have made their way on there. And you've got a few choices, and they're going to get a little obvious. Put it on your schedule if it's time sensitive. Put it on My Month if you want to look at it in 30 days. Let it roll over on My Year, or delete it if it doesn't matter anymore. And I know this sounds complicated, but it's actually so simple. When I go to bed at night, I wish the same for you. There is nothing left on the to-do list. Anything that's accumulated in the day is either in my schedule on my month list, or on my year list. And I just need 3 alarms, one that goes off every day, one that goes off every month, one that goes off every year. Imagine what it would feel like for you as a business owner or a family person to let your head hit the pillow at the end of the day and say, I won the day. Everything that had to be done today is done. Everything that came up as work today has been slotted in the right place. I can now turn off my phone, be a person, put my business aside, and get quality sleep. So these are just some of the little hacks that you might benefit from if you're feeling like your business takes up every free space in your life. If you're making the money that you want to, fantastic. But I hear from many realtors and brokers that their business is taking up every nook and cranny, and they're not making the money that they want to. We go into cognitive overwhelm. We start to forget things. We become at risk of burnout. So if you know that you've got too much on your plate right now, let's talk and get some of those things off plated. And here's a couple reminders as we get ready to wrap up. Perfect is not the goal. Progress is. You don't need to do a massive overhaul on how you schedule, how you do life, or the priorities that you think about. But if you just did a tiny tweak daily, like a 1% improvement, that's 365% growth in a year. And if you screwed it up 2 out of 3 days, you could still have 100% growth by the end of the year. So be kind on yourself. You're in a market that's ever changing, in an economy that is turbulent, in a time where people are burnt out, frustrated, where there's uncertainty around. Life is getting more expensive. Things are becoming less affordable, and people are looking to you to find them the right deal, win the day. And you're human like your clients are. We're all dealing with these things. So it doesn't have to be massive, but choose something small tonight that would make life a little bit better tomorrow. And just a reminder, folks, we cannot control the things that have already happened. It's okay if you and I and the rest of us on this line, all 29 of us at this moment, if we haven't been living your life and business in balance up till now. But you get a say in what you do next about it. And I hope that you choose well. Not only do you deserve a life of happiness and success, but if there's people in your family, they're counting on you to be the right kind of role model. If you're a broker and you have a team, people don't want to join a team where folks are having heart attacks and going through burnout. They want to join a team where you're making top dollar, living a top life, you have ample balance, people enjoy their career, and they can have a long runway of success. So be role model and mentor worthy. Now, as I promised, I'd like to share some of these resources with you. My heart's the kind that likes to give it to you for free if it can help you raise the quality of your life. And so if you would text the word happy to my personal and private cell phone, 416-797-5856, I will share with you the slide deck from this evening's presentation. I will share with you the tools that we were talking about, and I will share with you content from 5 books. One in particular, I believe, will really help you transform your business and your life. It's 52 tips for living your best life. That's a tip a week if you want to go at it very slowly. Here's a sneak peek of some of those things that are in the Google Drive I'd like to share with you. One of them is an entire 236-page book, but more importantly, if you're ready to claim more balance in your life, specific to what you need to do as a realtor, a broker, or financial professional, please send me a text. It would be my pleasure to gift you 30 minutes. It's not a sales call, it's not a strategy session, and it's not a consult. It's an actual coaching session to help you redesign that part of your life that you're feeling frustrated with. So Gordon and Jay, it's been such an honor to be invited to round out the business conversations with some life, happiness, and balance. I hope that your dear colleagues and friends here at Homelife get some takeaways so that they can make the money they want, but keep happiness and health intact at the same time. Thank you guys so much.
Wow, awesome. Thank you, Hailey. Let's give Hailey a big hand, you guys. Hailey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I texted you, Hailey. I've got my 30-minute coaching session set up. Listen, you guys, Hailey, I know for a fact, had been coaching families that are in need, CEOs, realtors, and you know, people pay her quite a bit for sessions with her. And Surinder, I don't know how you did it, but you know, part of you know, this evening is for us to be able to lift each other up. Does that make sense? right?
Yes.
And Surinder has been able to convince Hailey to offer you that 30-minute coaching session. Okay, so take advantage of you guys. Take advantage of being able to book this session with Hailey. Look, you have Jay and you have Hailey. How many of you, I know I can't really see you because you guys are all muted, but how many of you would actually like to work less and make more money? Raise your hand. Like work less and make more money. And you got it. You got it in both these amazing individuals here. Right, Jay?
Gordon, before you go on with the program, I just really need to give it back to you and remind your friends here at Home Life what an asset you are to them based on the asset you've been to me and my business. If I were to trace back all the breadcrumbs to the way we met and the paths that have been crossed, just being at events that you have created have transformed my business, my personal life, and my life. In fact, the place in which I met my husband, who's the father of my children, wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for a business that you had started. So folks, you are so fortunate to have Gordon. He is such a master connector. If he sees something that's possible for you, he'll introduce you to it. If you're doing it wrong, he has the guts to tell you. And if there's a better way or person, he's going to introduce you to them. He, honest to goodness, cares so much. And Gordon, you've made a profound personal, feel good difference in my life, but you've also changed the dollars and cents in my life dramatically. It's because of you that my course got to 136 countries. It's because of you that things went global. And so I'm very excited for your friends and team here to have you. And you've got a very tall order right now. You need to bring up one of my very favorite individuals on this planet as the next speaker. So over to you, Master Gordon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hailey. Remind me to pay you for saying all those nice things, okay? No, just all joking aside, Hailey, thank you. And I know with Surinder and Harp and Baljit, the brokers here at Home Life, they are so committed to the success of the agents that are here, right? Surinder, would you say that?
Yes.
Yeah, and we know, Hailey, having there's agents here that are crushing it. I remember being at their gala, their awards night. I mean, it was off the chart. The energy. Everyone says energy is everything, right? Everything is energy. And that night, I saw the future of Homelife Silvercity, where these guys are heading. Like they are, they're ready to break that 1,000 agent mark. I think that's going to happen. They're going to break that first $1 million earner in the company very, very soon. And so the next speaker I'm going to bring on is really important because I know that mindset is important. Would you guys agree with that? Napoleon Hill says, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, he or she can achieve. And there was a time in my life when things weren't going well and I would feel sorry for myself. Can you relate to that? I would blame the government, I blame inflation, I blame interest rates. I even blame the neighbor's fence that was too high. The neighbor built the fence too high and I can't get the sun anymore. There was always an excuse. I would blame somebody else. But what I really needed was this. I needed an attitude adjustment. And the individual you're going to get to hear for a minute is the individual that knew how to give me the attitude adjustment that I needed. You know how sometimes when you need someone who can actually hug you and kick you at the same time? This is the individual. He is one of the top transformational coaches in the world today, sought after speaker. And I'll just share one thought, and I'm going to bring him in right now. Mary Kay Ash once said, inspiration and motivation without direction leads to total frustration. Well, this individual, not only can he inspire and motivate you, but he can give you the direction that you need to become the top producing realtor, not just in Brampton, you guys, where you are, but in the entire GTA. Who's ready to become the top producer in the GTA? Help me to welcome my amazing friend, Mr. Byron Nelson. Are you there, Mr. Nelson?
I am. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming in. Where are you right now? Like, if I'm talking to you, like one day I'm talking to you in London, England. Another day I'm talking to you, you're in Ireland. So where are you right now?
I am in New York right now. New York.
Amazing. The Big Apple.
New York. The Big Apple.
Well, it's all yours.
So
It's all yours. We have Surinder and we have Shabir, who's hosting us tonight, and Baljit and Harp. The other brokers they're unfortunate They have, they're not here tonight, but Sharinder and Shabir is here, and Mr. Nelson. The agents are ready for you. It's all yours.
Where's Sabir? I don't see Sabir.
Not Sabir.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Shabir.
Oh,
Yes,
Shabir.
yes.
I saw him.
Yes.
I was like, totally. Well, it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, I don't know how much I can really add. You just had Jay and Hailey and you're hosting. What else can I put to this? I mean, it's like you got everything you need. I mean, honestly, you got everything you need. I am going to piggyback off of both of what they shared because these are two of my favorite people on the planet, truly. I mean, truly, I love both of you guys. And Gordon, I mean, Hailey said everything. I echo that times 10 of how you are a connector and how you pour into people and how you set up just for people to have success. You know, and I don't have a whole lot, but I do have a little I will share with you guys based on what Mr. Soa shared with me, what you guys want to do in regards to your opportunity, your business, understanding real estate. I have a guy that I coach right now, and we're in August, and he's a broker and he is an agent, and he's already closed. We're in August. He's closed 268 properties, commercial and residential, and we're only in August. Closed, signed, sealed, delivered. Let's go. And it came from just a few things that I shared with them, and I'm gonna share with you, and it's gonna echo and sound a lot like what Jay and Hailey has talked to you about. I'm just gonna put some black barbecue sauce on it. Okay, so we're gonna add a little flavor to this here, and make it a little spicy, because 2 + 2 is always gonna be 4. 4 times 4 is always gonna be 16. It doesn't matter what color you are, how old you are, what race you are. The simplicity of success is always going to be what it is, if that makes sense. Nod your head if you guys are with me on that. But how you receive the information is going to be different. I may say something that maybe, you know, Jonas does not get, but Terrence does get. And then Hailey said something that Jonas got that Terrence didn't get. We said the same thing. It was how it was said and how it was received. I was interviewed a couple of weeks back, and they asked me, what is the one, and you definitely, it's being recorded. You might want to go back. I talk fast. It's the Chicago in me, forgive me. But it is being recorded. And a lot of times what you got from Jay, what you got from Hailey and myself, you want to go back and listen to this. You want to go back and hear it. You want to go back and take copious notes. Get a copy from Gordon, because a lot will go in. The average person does not retain more than 10% of what they hear. And that's a challenge. And that goes into the interview that happened a little while ago. And he said, what is the one thing that separates those that become wealthy from those that do not? What is the one ingredient? If you have to come up with one thing. And that one thing is called listening. We have so many conversations in our own head. We have so many things that are surrounding us. We have so many things. We have so many moving parts and components in our life. Between children, between escrows, between appraisals, between clients, between follow-up, between the wife, the husband, the children, the mortgage, the bills, everything that's going on, the economy, the COVID. There's so many, and if you throw into that, as Hailey was talking about, social media, you're messed up. There's just way too much coming at you. We don't even recognize how much we're taking in just driving up the street. So it's very difficult to separate all this mess, this white noise, as I call it. So that first thing, I'm gonna give you 5 points here, may give you 6 depending on where my brain goes. But the first one is learn how to listen. And learning how to listen means sometimes you have to hear something 3, 4, 5 times to get what you need. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. We've all been where we saw a movie. It could have been The Matrix, it could have been The Godfather, whatever movie you like. You could have seen a movie 5 years ago and you went back and watched it again. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't see that in the movie. How many people understand that thought process? I'm gonna show you how the brain works. We've all made, men and women, we've gone to the grocery store and we made a list of 5 things that we needed in our head. We went to the grocery store, we needed only 5 things. You walked out with 20 and forgot one of the 5. That's just crazy. Hold it. You only needed 5 things. You're like, look, I only need this, 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 and this. I'm going to go in, and you come out with a whole bunch of stuff, and you get in the car, you're halfway home, and you're like, oh my God. It's an amazing mechanism when you get down to that one thing. And knowing what Gordon was talking about, less is best, I'm very big on less is best, but I'm even bigger on energy and consciousness and understanding the power of the subconscious and knowing how to lay out your life. Let me share with you, you might want to write this down or remember it, 90% of people fail because they don't know how to make a decision. 90 people, all your clients, your customers, us, each one of us, 90% of failures are because people don't know how to make a decision. The 10% that succeed, they've made a decision and they figured out the how to afterwards. And I use real estate as an example all the time. The first time homeowner, they've been renting, they've decided I'm gonna buy a home. They don't know what an underwriting is, they don't know what appraisal is, they don't know what, what the first or the down, how much they gotta put down, how much they gotta make. They know nothing, but they've made a decision that I need to own a home. You get married. You've made a decision, I'm getting married. You don't know where you're getting married. You don't know, many don't even know who they're marrying. They just know, I want to be married. You don't know, how much it's going to cost, all this, but you decided, I want a soulmate. I want a partner. And the how-to comes. Once you understand these, you can start to understand how to make systems work for yourself. Each one of you has a system in home life. You have your own system that you apply to this. We need to understand the system itself stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. Of course, that's cliche. You guys are in real estate. You've heard that before. Do you understand that air that you're breathing right now is an ecosystem? Do you understand the stars in the sky, that's a solar system? Do you understand that the money that you pay in taxes is a tax system? See, the key is not to be able to get rid of the system. The key is learning how to make the system work for you. And once you understand how to make systems work for you, then you can understand that right now, we all understand that it is, literally a buyer's people are buying, properties are everywhere. One person says it's a seller's market. Another person says it's a buyer's market. Here's what I understand. If somebody's buying, somebody's selling. So what market is it? How are you going to tell me what kind of market it is? I hear brokers all the time. Well, the market right now and everybody's selling. I don't, not everybody's buying. There's not a lot. How the hell are you selling and nobody's buying? And how is somebody buying and somebody's not selling? Are y'all with me in this train of thought? See, if we get rid of the white noise, then we can actually get into why we're here. And as business people, we are onto the bottom line in understanding how to leverage our time. Less is best. My affirmation, what I understood before I even started this year, I literally make my resolutions. My New Year's Eve is on October 1st. Do you understand before the football league, or we'll talk about Canada, the hockey league, or if we talk about basketball or any league, there's a preseason. You understand when you turn on your car, the reason why people run into the ground is because they don't let it warm up for at least 3 to 4 minutes. And it accumulates over time. When you first turn it on, it's revving real high, but we're just running and running and running and running and running into the ground. That's the way we do our lives. That's what Hailey was just talking about. Just running and running and running. You gotta stop, pause. That extra 3 minutes every time you start your car will gain you an extra 2 years on your car of life before things start breaking apart. So we have to do that in understanding our preparation and our plan for our business of what we're doing in our real estate marketplace here. And we got to understand how to leverage that and do less and get more. I set out to make 8 figures this year. I'll probably do 9 on a bad day. I set that up on September 1st of last year. September 1st, I knew that I needed a running start. October 1st. I knew I needed a running start because my preseason was from October, November, and December to start the year going into January. Does that make sense? Why is it that everybody is making their pre-year's resolution on New Year's Eve? That's when you're going to start? So you aren't going to get any momentum. You aren't going to get any traction until March or April at best if your resolutions are made on January 1st. So you got to trick the system into working for you. Your year starts on October 1st. Your preseason is October, November, and December. The average, we're talking about any business person that understands business makes more money during literally October, Halloween, whatever that is, right? Everybody wears masks all year round here in the United States, but we aren't going to talk about that. From Halloween on October 31st up until February 14th, 15th, give or take, is when all the money is made. There's more money made in business between November 1st, end of October, to mid-February. I meet the most amazing business people that have money traveling end of February through April. You know why? Because everybody has a closeout sale. Everybody's trying to get to that last bottom line. There's not one mall, there's not one restaurant, there is not one club, there's not one business that is not moving product. Business owners know this is when the sheep are out getting rid of their money. Right now, we're in August. You're getting ready for the biggest breakthrough in your life to make more money. People are making decisions now. My point of this is you have to stay in your lane. Point number 2, stay in your lane. And this is going to get into the evolution of your mind. Now watch this. Of all experts and masters you'll hear out there, they'll tell you, in fact, there's many books out there called The Power of Focus, The Power of One. You got to learn how to focus. How many of you guys as brokers and real estate people have heard that? You aren't focused. How many of us tell our children you aren't focused? Are you guys with me on that so far? Let me tell you the power of success. The power of success does not come from the power of focus. Now, this is an adult call. Hopefully there's no children around, so stick with me. You'll find out that I'm very unfiltered and really don't care. I live unapologetically. Are you guys with me? Nod your head if you're with me on that. Right now, if in turn, Terrence is on this call. He's looking at me. I can see him. His eye is tilted. He's totally focused. Right now, there's a naked woman that just walked in front of him. What just happened? He was focused on me, but his eyes just went over there. Why? Not because he wasn't focused, because he was distracted. Right now, Sutha is sitting up there totally focused, writing notes. All of a sudden, her child comes in screaming. What happens? Her focus is on me, but the child, that comes first. Priorities kick in. Are you guys following me on that stuff? See, the power of success does not come from the power of focus. How quickly can you get rid of your distractions? Please write that down. If you can learn how to minimize and get rid of your distractions, you will become massively successful. When you look at anybody, if you look at creating a car and electricity, if you look at a man creating a social media and goes to somebody creates an electronic out of a fruit called apple. When you look at these people that have succeeded at exceedingly high rates, it was not the power of focus, it was the power of getting rid of distractions. So when you start looking at your phone and here's a challenge I want you guys to write down. I want you to go through your text messages. I do this to myself every other month just to check. I want you to go, not right now, but I want you to write this down as an exercise. And I want you to go through the last 7 days, the last 5. You can do the last 5. You can actually do the last 3, but I'm going to say 5 days of your text messages, and then do a ratio of all the text messages, but just for 5 days. Might take some work. If you guys are getting blown up, then do 3, right? If you got a really busy phone, do 3 days. And do the ratio of the text messages that came in that made you money and the ones that were personal. Jonas, are you hearing me? Are you guys following me on that? Look at your text messages and look at the ratio of the ones that bring you money and the ones that were personal. And if your ratio is 2 to 1, 2 personal to 1 business, then your life is upside down. You have too many distractions. You got too many people talking to you about nothing. Can we go get a drink? Can we hang out? Let's connect. I haven't seen you in a while. You know what? I miss you. I love you. Okay. Well, how come you haven't called me back? Well, what's going on with the kids? All that crap is white noise. What happened if you went back 15, 20, 30 years ago and you didn't have a cell phone? You didn't have internet. You didn't have technology. Somebody called you, they didn't even have an answer machine. They had to wait 2 days to get a call back. Nobody complained. Then they created the answer machine. They still had to wait for you to get off of work. And if you were too tired, call them back. They waited 8, 9 hours. Nobody missed anything. Now, if you text somebody today, they're like, I know you got my text. Why didn't you call me right back? I can see you online. What's going on? Well, how long I got to wait? What? Jesus. Even if they don't tell you and they're close to you, what's going on in their head? I just saw you. You just posted something and you can't call me back. Oh my God. I'm incarcerated. I'm imprisoned to a cell what is going on? Are you guys following me on this so far? So you got to learn how to get rid of this white noise. You get somebody get inside your head and start targeting that. Hence, that's where as Gordon said, I am a GPS. I help people get to where they want to go, not where they think they want to go, not where they hope, not people that are lost. But I'm trying to find myself. I did that for about 15, 20 years. You lost, stay lost. Go find a mirror. When you find yourself, holler at me and I'll help you get where you need to go. You need to have a destination where you want to go in 5 years. It's my job to get you there in 2 years. And I can only do that with somebody who is willing to listen and get rid of the distractions. Otherwise, you're going to end up shipwrecked. So when you start understanding this conversation in somebody's head and you look at the interest rates, people are like, oh my God, I was refinancing. I have property. I was sitting up there literally in December. What is this? Oh, this was December. My interest rate was 2.3 plus a couple of points or whatever. Before April, it was at 5%. By May, you're looking at 6%. And people are like, oh my God, the interest rates are going up. Oh my God. And you got people that are freaking out. See, if you learn how to take that step back I talked about in the beginning, and have a real conversation with your clients and say, let me tell you something. Right now, we're in shaky ground. The market is volatile. You know what that means? Extraordinary opportunity, a lot of money. Yes, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna quote you that the marketplace right now and your interest rate is gonna be 5.3. And I can almost assure you within 5 days, it can either be 4.2 or 6.5. And I need you to be prepared for that, because if you're going to shake and go tell me what somebody else is doing and compare what I'm doing to what they're doing, I don't want your business. I'm going to tell you that up front, because what I'm going to tell you is there's nobody that's going to serve you at the level that I'm going to serve you. And if you're going to compare that to a percentage rate, our business is done. So you got to set your boundary up front when you're doing this real estate. You need to let them know up front what's going on. So they don't come back and say, well, Chase has this and Bank of America gave me this. And well, this is what the Toronto, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here? Because if you're here to shop, I mean, you got to understand, you can go get a Prius or you can go get a Bentley. I'm a Bentley, I'm sorry. It's going to be a little bit higher. But what you're going to get in return is beyond anything you ever know. Don't tell me what the cheapest, if you're looking for the cheapest, I'm sorry, I'm not the cheap hole that you're looking for. You need to go find somebody on the street. If you want quality and you want the highest level and highest frequency of service, to know that someone's going to be with you. I don't take on clients for a closing of a deal. I take on the client for life. That means your family and your family's family is going to be doing business with me. Every transaction, and you're going to have a personal service-oriented individual that's going to go and get you everything that you could ever possibly need and be on call for you. I am 7-Eleven in this business to service you, support you. And if you want something less than that, and you just want to shop with somebody and have, one night stands with some of these other institutions to be able to close the deal here and there, go right ahead. You need to be upfront with your clients and be very powerful and impactful and significant in the conversation. Is this helping anybody? Nod your head if you guys are following me on that so far. You need to become an impact player. I'm also going to talk about number 3, casual wealthy. For the first time in 2.5 years with this.
Byron, you're muted.
That's with me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, excellent. For the first time, I put on a suit 2.5 ago. I had to go to Houston to a speaking engagement. It was real uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable because I don't even like suits anymore. You got to understand, and I'll give you a real Black situation, a real Black experience here. Jay-Z, as you guys, everybody knows who Jay-Z is, started off in hip hop. He started off just like every other hip hop artist out there. He was wearing gold chains and diamonds and all that. If you see Jay-Z right now, he's in a casual suit. He's got a bona fide watch. He's classic. He's vintage. Now, when he started, he wanted to profile money, and he didn't have any. And even when he started making money, he could only attract the lower echelon of individuals that wanted to be able to buy his records. As he elevated to a billionaire status, the less he wore. When you look at Mark Zuckerberg, when you look at some of these other people, you know, I mean, we could go down the list of them. It's casual wealthy. You guys need to learn how to be able to come and dress where people, it's distinct, it's powerful, but it's not flashy. It's not all suited. You come to me in a suit, I already know that you're not really, but you haven't mastered your craft, because people that got money are not wearing ties. We'll wear a blazer and some jeans, or blazers and some nice slacks. We'll wear a nice shirt. I wear it always buttoned up, or I wear a mock. It's the way I am. But I'm not coming out there looking like I'm a new jack in the game. And I'm not coming sloppy. When you want to transform yourself, you might want to do something crazy. What do I mean by that? I cut off all my hair. It just didn't grow back. But I'm saying you might want to do something. Like I had to clean off. I have a goatee, I have beard, I have mustache, but I'm coming clean. I need to show up where I can be fully received. Does that make sense? You guys with me? Now, I'm not telling you guys all, especially brothers on there with a beard and a mustache, that's what you need to do. I'm using that as an example. For women, you may want to cut your hair. Do something that creates a paradigm within yourself that makes you feel great about yourself. Do something magically to shift yourself. When I started getting properties and I started moving, I always went, I was like, before I got my penthouse on the ocean, I was like, I need to shift, but I can't afford to move. I said, I need a new space. I need a new energy. Something has to move because I feel stuck. So I would flip my entire house around and completely move all the furniture. I did that probably every 6 months until I made enough money that I could change my address every 2 years. So you got to figure out a way. Remember, we're talking about systems, how to shift your whole energy and things that are around you. My mastery is human equity. So I believe that the power, if you cut every man, woman open, they're going to bleed red. So it's not about the Catholics, the Jews, the Gentiles. It's about literally how you carry yourself to be able to serve the human race. But within that capacity, what I'm going to teach you, I want you guys to write this down. I want you to learn the waiting room. It's called the waiting room system. Now, I can't go into detail here. If you guys want that, you'll get in touch with Gordon. I believe he's setting something up for me to come and talk to the entire cast there, and we'll put everything in place. But here's how the waiting room system works in business. If you work for the next 3 years, for the next 10 years, you'll never need a client. If you work for the next 3 years, you'll never need a customer or a client for the next 10 to 15 years, ever. See, reverse engineering the system means if you work harder than you ever got paid for, at some point it reverses the entire tide and you get paid more than you ever worked for. Now I'm going to use basketball as an example. During the time of Kobe's reign, during the time of LeBron's reign, during the time of Michael Jordan's reign, during the time of these players that are iconic, there's only 455 players that play in the NBA. That means you made it to the creme de la creme. You can't play any higher anywhere in the world in basketball. Every time that a new king came into the league, there was 50 people better than them. People are like, you saying there's 50 people better than Michael Jordan? While he was playing, yes. There was 50 people better than LeBron. While he was playing, yes. That's impossible. You name somebody. I don't need to. They had the talent. What LeBron, what Kobe, and what Michael had was the work ethic. They outworked everybody. Every king of every industry in every game. That's what makes me a beast. That's why nobody will ever be able to touch me when I do something. Nobody will ever outwork me in my season. It's that simple. You can have all the talent, you can have all the gift, the gab, you can have all the access. What are you doing to invest in yourself to make yourself that much better? When I have a client, they say, look, hold it, how much are you charging? Oh, I don't know if I can afford that. Really, you can't afford not to. What are you talking about? Because to not have me means you're going to stay exactly where you are, and that means you're going to digress. When you understand how much LeBron puts an extra $1.4 million a year from the time he was 18 into his body, into his nutrition, into his mind, into his algorithm, into his meditation, into his yoga, into everything that has nothing to do with basketball, but to be set to be able to take over a game. Each one of you has that potential to take over the entire game in real estate in Canada and dominate. Everybody else wants to talk about what's bad. Wherever there's something bad, there's an opportunity to get flat out wealthy where everybody else is not willing to do it. Get rid of those distractions of all the naysayers. Get rid of the broke-minded individuals. You may have to turn down some clients and be like, you know what? I just can't work with you. The percentage and the money, you may think that you need them. By working for that small percentage for that person with that much time just costs you an extra $100,000 for the right client that was waiting for you. You need to review your client, your index, your database of who your clients are, and you need to throw some of those fish back. Let me tell you a story. There was a fisherman. He was sitting on a ledge, and he kept everybody. There was 100 people on this ledge, on the pier, 100 people on the ledge. And the other 99 people couldn't catch one fish, not one fish. They sat out there all morning, all afternoon. Lunchtime came. This one guy, he kept catching massive trout, big old fish. He kept throwing it back in the water, throwing it back in the water, throwing it back in the water. And finally at lunchtime, all the people rolled up on him and was like, hey, dude, I'm not understanding. What the hell is wrong with you? We haven't caught one fish. You keep throwing fish back. You're the only person here on the pier that keeps catching fish. He said, don't you see the problem? You're like, no, none of us see the problem. We're pissed off. We can't even catch nothing. He reaches into his knapsack. He pulls out the skillet. He puts it down. He said, watch this. He throws his line out. He gets a trout that's this big. I mean, it's massive. He puts the trout in the skillet, and it's twice the size of the skillet. He says, do you see the problem? They said, no. He said, the fish is too big for the skillet. That is the human mind. We think so small that we throw away the big and are just happy to get a few guppies, a few goldfish. You got a whole bunch of sardines, it's not gonna feed. You gotta hold out knowing that you're worth, you gotta know your own self-worth. You gotta know your time and what it's worth. There's somebody doing your job that is currently making $50,000 a year. There's somebody doing your job that's making $150,000 a year. There's somebody doing your job making $1.5 million a year. And there's somebody doing your job making over $10 million a year. Why is it that if I'm you, that I'm only making what I'm making, but this person, they got the same 24 hours in a day. They got the same amount of minutes in a day, 1,440 minutes, 86,400 seconds, but somebody is learning how to monetize that time a whole lot better. They're learning how to maximize and become much better. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go to the sky right off the bat, but I'm telling you, your trajectory, where one is going to the sky, others keep hitting the curb, you need to just take a step back and reprogram and recheck how you're actually doing your business. The destination doesn't change, the application changes. Did that make sense? Are you guys following me on that so far? You need to reprogram your system because it keeps, if your income is not going up 6 figures every year, I can honestly tell you, my income has to grow an extra 6 figures at minimum per year. If your income is not growing a minimum of 6 figures a year, there's something wrong with your system. That's a minimum. And you guys are in the best game, the best industry, the best market on the planet because I teach legacy wealth. No matter how many diversified streams of income I talk about, the first thing I'm talking about is you need real estate. I got you. Did that make sense? So I want you guys to just really take these bullet points home and take them to heart because it will shift and change your life. Learn how to write yourself a check. How much today is August 17th? So you got 12 days left in this month. That leaves you September, October, November, and December. That leaves you a good 5 months with September, October, November, December. You got 4 months, 4 months and a half. So you got 4 months. Here's my challenge to you. If you take on whatever Gordon is offering and we come to this play, And if you want to get in touch, if you want to know what I do and how I do it, Gordon has my number. You know what? It's one of those things where, have you noticed that? And I didn't finish the story about JC. Let me finish that, and then I'm gonna talk about the 4 months and wrap up. So JC had on all this, but you're talking about being able to make money, and you're talking about the more successful you are, the more you have, the less you want people to know you have. There's things that you guys can add to your repertoire to make you so much more valuable. Like teaching people how to get a life annuity, putting their money into an insurance policy, borrowing that money against the insurance policy, and then buying the house and never having to pay taxes ever. Simple, but very few people do it. You can collaborate and start to tie yourself to 3 or 4 other connectors that's their specialty. Say, look, I got 5 clients. They only have X amount of money, but I want to set them up so that they don't have to get taxed and they can be now you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Now you got a referral arm of somebody who's exclusively to you, just referring business to you. Look, you've been renting. I've been doing your taxes. You need to talk to somebody. You're paying $2,500 a month on this piece of property. I got somebody to get you a piece of property for $1,500 a month and give you equivalently or more of what you're currently getting. And be able to help you with your taxes and save the money you would have to pay on the back end, even though it's not an income piece of property. You need a strategist in your life, of someone who takes inventory of what you're doing, breaks it down and says, this is where you are, this is where you need to be. Now let's figure it out. Let's plan with the end in mind. When you put into the GPS, that's what I'm known. My nickname is GPS. That's why I'm called the architect. When you put into the GPS, the destination of where you're going, it doesn't get halfway through the route and figure out and say, oh my God, where are we? I got to figure out where I am. It knows the destination and works its way backwards. That's all you are. You are a family plan. You're planning people's lives, whether in business, commercial, or it's home. You need to become a service-oriented, a full service-oriented person when you're dealing with your clients, and let them know there's nobody out there. I challenge you to go and find somebody who's going to be able to deliver the way I deliver, because your whole life is going to change. This isn't the first address, and it's not going to be the last. We're going to upgrade you to a lifestyle you've never seen on the back end, making your money and your equity and your property work for you so that you can set your kids up for 3 generations of wealth. That's my job as I come to you as a consultant. You need a strategist. You need a makeover. And many of you on here, let me say this, as I got like 3 minutes. Many of you on here are great at what you do. Many of you some are good. That's a whole nother conversation, good to great. But here's what I learned about those that are great, because I've dealt with some of the most extraordinary minds on the planet. Here's what I learned about them. I said, let me tell you a secret. I said, come here. Let me tell you a secret. You're the best cardiologist in the world. I have just one question for you. Do you want to do open heart surgery on yourself? You're going to learn, I'll tell you, the people that escalate, because this season, you can write this last bullet point down, it's not called the next level, it's called the elevator. You need to go to a whole nother floor, like the 20th floor. That's what I'm challenging you on these next 4 months. I want you to make whatever you made in the last 8 months, in the last 4 months of this year. That's what I want for you. I want you to make what you made in the last 8 months, double that for those that are aspiring and challenging to themselves. Don't tell me it's not possible. Don't tell me that sounds incredible and that just sounds, oh my God. No. Somebody has already made the decision that I'm going to triple what I've made in the last 8 months and the last 4 months of this year. And that decision, remember, I bring everything full circle. That decision will lead to the how-to. All you got to do is just take a step back, look at your bank account, look at what you made, look at how many closes you've had, look at what you've done. The how-to will come. The universe conspires to those that are powerfully in decision mode. It just conspires. Things just show up. I need a CPA. Oh my God. I need this. I need whatever it is. It will bend down to those that have powerfully made a decision. Not are involved with the conversation, are committed to the conversation. Sold out. You want a body? That's just work. You want to take care of your body internally, you want to take care of your spirit? Chopra talking about it. I mean, go read, the monk who sold his Ferrari. Robin is a good friend of mine. So, I mean, there's a host of people in which I connect with. Pick up the phone on speed dial. Yesterday, Les Brown picked up. The day before that, Richard Branson seemed to be picked up. Why? You need to connect. Look at the 5 people closest to you, elevate your consciousness. They don't have to be in your industry. You need 5 people that elevate your consciousness. When you finish talking to them, you are mentally messed up. You're like, damn, what am I doing? What am I doing in my life you need those 5. Those are the text messages you need coming into your phone. Like, dang, I just got a text from a friend of mine, from another friend who's talking about me to another friend that I hadn't talked to. This kid's 28 years old. 6 months ago, he was worth $20 million. Today, he's worth 28. 6 months ago. That means this 28-year-old kid that I trained at the age of 20 is now worth $28 million. $8 million he's made in the last 6-8 months I've talked to him. And he talked to another multimillionaire who's like, B, you need to get on this program. I was like, look, I got my jersey on. I'll be home soon. Like, what am I doing? We need to change our circles. We know this. It's things that we know, but it's like, are we intentionally doing it? Hailey talked about that. Jay talks about that. Are you intentionally living on purpose? You have an anointing on your life. You have a spirit that's alive in you. There's a reason why you are anybody in real estate, whether you're the broker or the agent, you have an entrepreneurial spirit. That means you go out and kill, not what you eat for today, but for the next 20 years. Stop using that slogan, I kill and eat whatever I kill, I eat today. No. Or I'm only as good as my last month. No. You're only as good as your last 3 years. Because if you do the next 3 years the way I'm telling you, the next 20 years, you don't got to do nothing but go to the waiting room. And they're waiting. And they aren't going to leave. I got people in my waiting room that will not leave. They're like, whenever he gets to me, I know his documentation is going to help me where I need to go. Got 14 minutes. I got you, baby. And we need to talk. I got you. Is that making sense? Okay. So I have to go. I hope I've done my job, Mr. Gordon. So, Sukbar, Jay, I love you. I can't wait to see you. Hailey, I love you. Give my love to the entire family. I know her kids. I watch her whole family grow. This is a family. You've been invited to a circle, and I know other people pitch and talk or whatever. When you know your value, you don't have to sell. Because there's a waiting room. I have to go. I want a copy of this recording. I love you guys. God bless. And I'm always available.
Awesome.
Bar, Jay, Hailey, all of them have access to my number. Whatever you need, just set it up. My partner, Wendy, I believe there's a chat. You can put your number in the chat for anybody, but coordinate and collaborate with Gordon so that everything is synced up. I love you guys. Have a blessed evening.
Awesome. Thank you. Byron, thank you so much. Okay. Wow. The waiting room. That was absolutely amazing. Wow, you guys, let's give Mr. Byron Nelson a big hand. Did you guys get any value out of that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes. I see. Is it Jonas? I don't even know him. I just see the smile, the thumbs up, and some of you guys have your cameras off, so I can't really see your faces. But I'm pumped. I'm excited. Byron talked about GPS, architect, and he's someone I've known for well over 3 decades now. And I've seen him work miracles in my life, right? My friends' lives. I mentioned to you, earlier, I used to feel sorry for myself when the market wasn't doing well. I used to have what someone used to call a loser's limp. Can you guys relate to that? I remember one time when, he said, Gordon, you have a loser's limp. I looked at him like, do you want me to punch you? But I couldn't because he's like this tall and this big, and I'm like this small, right? I don't know if anybody's ever kind of mentioned that or hinted something like that about you. I thought, like, how could you tell me I have a loser's limp? And it took me a while to really, truly understand that I really didn't know how to win. right? Like Byron would just talked about in the real estate business. When I was in the real estate business, I was fortunate to be the top 0.5% of a company. You guys know the company. I can't mention it. They have a balloon, and you know the company that's got a balloon. It was that the company I was with. By the way, I did start with Homelife. When I first started in the real estate industry, I was with Homelife Silvercity on Parliament Street. So it's kind of like coming home, right? So having that loser's limp, it took me a while to realize that I got to stop playing the victim game. I got to stop playing the blame game, right? And like Jim Rohn says, if it's going to be, it's up to me. I mean, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Jim Rohn says, in order for things to change, I need to change. In order for things to happen, I need to make it happen. It's no longer somebody else. So when Sharinder and Shabir and I got together and Harp, we talked about what we're doing tonight. This is just the beginning. Does that make sense? Like this is just the start. And because you guys feel the energy and the excitement when Hailey was talking of what she wants to be able to do in order to work with you guys. One of the reasons why I thought, man, we need Hailey here is at your gala. Remember the gala a few months ago? I mean, I was off the chart, the energy. Hailey, you know, you and I have been to events where we had 10, 20,000 people, the energy, the excitement, the enthusiasm, right, the recognition, the awards. Well, they had an awards gala. And Sharinder had invited me there, and I was on stage. And as I was coming off stage, there was an agent, there was a woman at Homelife who came right up to me and gave me this big hug, right? And you guys remember it was COVID, right? Some people were afraid to hug. She wasn't. I mean, she gave me such a big hug. I thought she was going to break me in half, right? And she like, do you recognize me, Gordon? Do you remember me? Remember that, Sharinder? And I'm like, I don't. And I had to be honest, right? Because sometimes it's better to be honest than to pretend, right? So I actually, you know, I don't remember you. Can you remind me? She says, you know, Gordon, I used to go to all your events. And I've always wanted to, you know, I've been trying to get a hold of you. And I want you to help me with the da. But one thing she was struggling with was something that had nothing to do with real estate. But it had everything to do with real estate. Does that make sense? Like, it had nothing to do with real estate, but it had everything to do with real estate because she was having a challenge at home. It wasn't the challenge at home wasn't a broken relationship, but there was a health issue. Right? There was a huge health issue of something like ill health that was happening in that family dynamic. And for her, it was derailing her from her real estate business. Can anyone relate to that? Right? Byron talked about distractions, right? How many of us run into distractions? So anyways, I'm not going to carry on too much about that, but what Byron talked about and what Hailey, I'm thinking like distractions, like we all have things that could distract us. And so I hope you guys found value in what Hailey was talking about tonight as well. And if you want to connect with her and take her up on that 30-minute coaching session, like a 30-minute free coaching session, could that help you? Right? Byron talked about pre-season, right? Summertime, right? Now's the time to plant our seeds. Like we reap what we sow. You guys agree with that? So the seeds we're going to plant right now, August, September, the seeds we're going to plant is going to determine how profitable we're going to be in October, November, December, right? And Jay, man, I know what he talked about earlier today, WhatsApp. If you can actually sit them down and say, this is what my real estate business looks like. Like these are the areas that I want to sell in. I only want to sell to first-time home buyers. I have made my clients a fortune working with them with first-time home buyer workshops over and over again. Right? There are millennials out there right now that are dying. So you and I talked about how to serve that millennial market. And we talked about like what Napoleon Hill talked about, rendering service, right? Making money is about rendering service. So how many times can we render that service and help a millennial buy their first home? Does that make sense? Like I think, Shabir, you and I talked about making $1 million a year. And we only had to render that service 60 times based on what we talked about. That's it. Like if you render that service 5 times, 5 times a month, you're going to make $1 million a year in this business. That's crazy. Maybe I should get back into real estate. I should go back and get my license and get back in the business. This is such an incredible system. You guys are in such an incredible place, you know. When I was selling real estate, I would sell 5, 6, 7, 8 houses a month with my eyes closed. And I would take a couple months off, I'd come back and I'd do it all over again. But the problem is back then, when I was selling real estate in Leslieville, homes were like $60,000 a piece. Right? A house in Riverdale was like $80,000 or $100,000. If there was the same mark, it was the same in the same market today. You can sell one home and make as much as I used to make selling 6, 7, or 8 houses, right? Even though it was like 3%, now it's a 2.5% commission. Like back then, 3% of a $60,000 property wasn't much. So you guys are in such an incredible place right now. The opportunity is just incredible. And again, knowing what your brokers are putting together for you right now in the next 2 to 3 to 5 years, right? We want to make sure that we have more $1 million producers in this company than any other company that's out there. Okay, who would like to become financially free? Like what Byron talked about. Like work the next 3 years, like 3 years of pain for a lifetime of gain. Yeah, I see Jonas, like his hand is always the first to go up, right? 3 years of pain, right? For a lifetime of gain. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. I know we're going to do this again, so
Gordon,
please
can I make it?
look. Yeah, so Jerry, so please check back in with Shaminder, Shabir, because there's going to be more to come. And I'm going to turn this over to Jay for me. So Jay, go ahead.
No, sorry to interrupt, Gordon, because I wanted to, with Sabir and Surinder's permission, you know, like Hailey and like obviously Byron is originally from California. He's in New York. He will be coming to Toronto 30 days from now. So I wanted to invite Surinder and his team and Sabir and his team, everybody, to come and meet Hailey and Byron in person. Like I was so blown away
Absolutely.
by here,
Yes.
Hailey and Byron. If you wanted to come and meet him in person, it's right in Vaughan.
Yeah.
I'll send the link is already there. Please come and meet both of them in person. That's what I just wanted to leave,
Absolutely.
We'll be
because
there.
I'm so motivated.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. So once again, thank you, Shabir and Shurinder. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Yeah,
Sure,
I'd like to say a few words if I could. So,
Yes.
you know, taking 2 hours out of the middle of the week, you know, it's a Thursday, it's probably been a busy week for everyone, been a busy day, but to come home from your office day, sit here for 2 hours and absorb all this information. You know, Gordon has been such a valuable coach to us. He's brought on 3 of his team members. That's invaluable. And I want to say, those of you who joined us today, and those of you who stayed at the end, you guys have that drive. You know, it shows when you joined in this call and you stayed till the end. You have a special drive that maybe some agents at our office, you know, they said, you know, maybe I don't want to take 2 hours out of my day to learn this, but you guys have that drive and you have these opportunities in front of you, these coaching sessions that Gordon and his team are offering to us. So you guys have that drive. You guys got to take advantage of that. And that's how we can succeed in this market, right? It's all about shifting your mindset. Like Gordon was saying, we have a lot of first-time home buyers who are maybe interested in this downturn market. And I think we can learn from Gordon, from Hailey, from Jay, from Byron, how we can target that new demographic, right? So again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Hailey. Thank you, Jay. Tell Byron I said thank you as well. And I think a lot of us will see you next month as well.